Hello, friends. Just a short video that I'm going to put in front of a lot of our current deep dive videos that we're doing on Now is the Terminator. I just wanted to give a shout out. If people aren't aware, Thomas Tenney, who did the art on a lot of the issues of uh, Now's Terminator series and was the artist on Marvel's Force Works for the first handful of issues, is having health issues. Um, and he's also having money issues. And he created a GoFundMe. And I guess the goal is 20,000, and he's already at like 13, $14,000. But I'm going to put a link in the description down below. If you feel the need to help him out, if you've read any of his work, he's done many other things other than Terminator and Force Works. He's been the artist on a bunch of indie books. Um, but again, I just wanted to make a quick little shout out uh, to make you aware that yet another artist that we've all seen his art, we've all read the comics that he's drawn, is going through a hardship. So please look in the description for the link to his GoFundMe. If you can donate, that would be excellent. That would be awesome to help Thomas Tenney out. Thank you again, and we will continue with the deep dive. Hey, everybody. I'm Mark Stanislawski. I am also Good Ideas Comics. And welcome to another installment of Deep Dive as we look at Now Comics, the Terminator series from 1988-89. Kind of based on the 1984 movie. It takes place 2 years after Kyle Reese enters the time displacement equipment and goes back to 1984 to rescue Sarah Connor from the Terminator. So far, we've got some bangers. Okay, this is a pretty good series. It's easy to see how it capitalized on the success of the movie, and the first four issues are great. This is issue 5 that we're going to be going through, and it's another newsstand. I didn't realize I had this many newsstand copies of this book. Out of the first 5 issues, I think 4 of them are newsstands and 1 is a direct. Well, I guess we'll have to keep a running tally on that, since that seems to be the future of comic collecting, right? Newsstand versus direct. As I mentioned, I am also Good Ideas Comics, and I not only collect, read, examine, study, regurgitate, whatever else you want to call comics. I also make comics. And if you visit goodideascomics.com and go into our store, you'll see the various different kinds of comics that I have had my hand in creating. And again, if you could buy through the store, if you don't like that, you can send me an email and say, hey, this looks interesting, I'd like to buy this, and we'll give you a good deal. But we're here for the Terminator, and let's get into it. Again, right off the bat, as with issue 4, we have an unbelievably beautiful painted cover by Ken Call, Call. He also did, like I said, the cover to issue 4, which is another great cover. I don't know how um, how the publisher knew Ken. I don't know if he knew Tony Caputo, if he submitted. I don't know, but it's pretty awesome. And yeah, I'm here for it. If you check out Ken Call, if you just Google his name, you'll see his paintings. He's super good. As we left off last issue, the Terminator cornered these two guys, saying the hunt was over. He's ready to kill them. And basically, as he killed their village, burned it down, and all that stuff, But it looks like he's not going to get to kill him because he is going to be attacked by a Black Panther. Not the Black Panther, but a Black Panther. Oh, a jaguar. A black jaguar. Do jaguars come in black? I don't know. Anyway, um, yeah, the jaguar pounces on the Terminator. Terminator finally just beats him up and gets him out of there. The jaguar gives him a growl and leaves. Again, these two guys get away. They go back to the village. Pretty much everybody's dead, except for this guy. Somehow he survived. The headman is pretty much at death's door. He's not going to make it. He, of course, he's the father. Let's see the two guys. He's the father of the head honcho here, the big guy. But this guy with the colored eye, he's adopted. He's an adoptive father. And there's a bunch of now. This is the Yanomamo tribe, and written by Jack Herman. And Jack Herman, now the Yanomamo tribe, is a real tribe. So we're gonna, and he acknowledges the work of Napoleon Chagnon. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Chagnon. And Napoleon Chagnon is an anthropologist who studied the Yanomamo tribe. Obviously, there were other anthropologists that were very critical of his methods and his papers that he came out. But it was, it's nice. Obviously, Jack Herman is a fan of Mr. Shannon and incorporated his work into this story, and that's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome when you can take something real life and incorporate it into a fictional story. Yeah, and we go into this this mysticism that these tribes have, in South America, and the guy's like, yeah, the jaguar did not save you by accident. The stranger is unnatural. It could not stand to see it kill a Yanomamo warrior, a true human being, And then we get back to the Terminator. Now, in the previous issue, we were like, the whole idea is that Skynet wants to get rid of the Amazon rainforest because that provides a lot of oxygen for human beings. So Skynet was like, hey, if we get rid of the rainforest, there's not going to be a lot of oxygen left. And it's kind of, I mean, I don't know how well that plan would work, but it's better than nothing, right? That would certainly contribute to it. And the whole thing is that how are they going to do that? Okay, they're going to build this huge machine that is going to kill the forest, is going to kill the rainforest and take away all the oxygen. And they go into the science of how it does. Now, these guys have to go to the mission station, and hopefully they'll find somebody there with probably better weapons to kill the Terminator. So these guys, it's weeks away. It's weeks away. So these guys are going on the mission station. The Terminator is building his jungle killing machine, right? Our warriors make it to the mission station. It's gone. It's no good. Obviously, as you can see by the skeleton, there are no humans there. Again, kind of funky looking skeletons, especially the skulls. Um, but they find, of course, comic books, which is kind of funny. But they also find shotguns and shotgun shells. So they say, hey, why not? Let's take these weapons. It'll help us. They test fire one, and so they leave with the books that basically show them how to use the weapons and ammo themselves. And now they have, a week or week and a half or 2 weeks walk back uh, to get to the Terminator. The Terminator is almost done building his machine. He sets up the dish, Skynet, and then we get into the science of how this machine is going to uh, kill the rainforest. And basically, it sends carbon into the upper atmosphere, which would eradicate the ozone layer, and then the ultraviolet rays of the sun are going to just kill all the plant life because there's no ozone there to protect it. So okay, and the Terminator, once he gets his orders, he activates the machine. So now we're on a time limit, right? It's still going to take weeks, um, probably months actually, for this machine to do its job and to kill. It isn't just, oh, you hit the button and everything's dead immediately. It's going to take time. So now our two Yanomamo warriors um, go to their rival village, the village of their rivals, a rival clan or tribe, and they come with the plan. Hey, we're gonna. This is what we're gonna do. Um, we have their shaman doing a bunch of stuff, trying to mystically, get information on what's going on and who that other person is and all that. And he uses something called ebene powder, which is probably a hallucinogen, right, of some sort. Um, and so the brother says, I want to breathe the ebene powder and see what Teki saw. And they're like, I don't know if you want to do that, but he does it, and we get this 2-page spread. Awesome stuff. Love the artwork. Again, Tom Tenney, Jim Brosman, who did the art. Um, and I think Jim Brosman was the inker on like the whole series, but um, pretty awesome sequence here. And it basically describes how Skynet took over and blew up the world, and humans are either dead or slaves, and you know, pretty much says the whole story. But um, it says it in uh, a South African primitive tribe type of way, which I like the pictures. I like how it's drawn. I like everything. It's a good sequence. Definitely good sequence. All right, so he's finally done. He snaps out of it. He's like, okay, let's go. This guy's got to die. Let's go. And so they find him, obviously. And the big climax fight ensues. They think if they shoot him with the shotgun, which they did, he's just going to die. So I like this though. Approaches him with a torch, but he essentially rips his arm right off his body, as we can see there too. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. You get just enough. You get just enough. It's not super gory, but you get like an all ages type action sequence, 1980s action sequence, right? And he kills his brother, right? He's trying to load the shotgun, grabs him, breaks his neck, and then like throws him up in the air and just lets him land, even though he's already dead from the broken neck, right? I don't know. Oh no, he's not dead, huh? He should be dead because he broke his neck. That's weird. But they have dynamite. Again, from reading the comics, he knows what dynamite is and what it does, and he blows up the machine and sacrifices himself in the process. And then there's a big fire. Everyone runs, everyone else, and I mean, the Terminator's not die. The fire isn't going to kill the Terminator, so he's still around. And then we have the shaman kind of uh, invokes, I will blind my enemy, I will grind his eye with stone, and then supposedly the satellite that Skynet uses, called High Tom, is destroyed by a meteorite. Okay. You know, like I said, you get some mysticism with it. And then we get, I like the uh, nod to the movie, because there's the Terminator, right? They thought he was dead. The machine blew up and everything. Um, and the Terminator comes back and he says, "I'll be back," and then collapses. And of course, once it collapses, they take the Terminator's head off his body. Of course, our hero is now, the headman. Of course, did wound up dying. He becomes the new headman. The tribes are now one tribe, not two different tribes, and they all lived happily ever after. Maybe not in this world, but at any rate, again, this is a good story. We get the acknowledgement that Jack Herman, Napoleon Shannon. I like the nod. I'll be back. I like the nod to Schwarzenegger and the 1984 movie. Yeah, again, another solid issue. Um, I like the story. It certainly was a departure from the first three issues where we had like wall to wall action and we got some name drops and all kinds of other stuff. Uh, but it was still a good story. I mean, Jack Herman, he wrote a bunch of stuff, a lot of indie books, including Bill Willingham's Elementals. Did a great job with Elementals, and this is no different. It'll be interesting to see what happens next in this. But from reading the first five issues, it's a solid series. I certainly, if you like the Terminator, the franchise, whether it's just the first two movies or the first three movies, or if you just like the Terminator in general, the overall story, I would definitely recommend this series because I think there's a lot of good things about it. Enough good things about it. And yeah, some of the things don't make sense, but it's comics, right? We can suspend our disbelief a little bit um, to enjoy the story that we're getting. Again, as we've seen before, issue number 3 was down to 5,675 copies ordered. Again, this is just Capital City Distribution. This is not Diamond. Capital City Distribution did, as I mentioned as I mentioned last video, they did the um, mid Midwest, northern Midwest part too, and they went over to the Northwest. I'll have to see exactly what states. So maybe, I don't think, maybe a quarter of the country, right? Maybe a quarter of the country they covered. And then we saw issue 4 actually went up, um, gained 800 copies, was up to 6,400 copies ordered. And what about issue 5? Did it go up? Did it drop? Well, it looks like issue 5 went up another 575 copies ordered. So yeah, like I said at the end of last video, this was Now Comics' best-selling title, and it remained its best-selling title probably until what, 1990, when Now Comics did the Green Hornet, and then that became their best-selling title. But again, we're at issue 5, almost 7,000. Now remember, issue 1 came out, it was 9,200. So, we went down because people had to order. They didn't know how it was gonna play out. Everyone likes number 1 issue, so you would order number 1 heavily, and then you're like, number 2, number 3. You cut that. They cut it almost in half. Maybe 60% of issue number 1. But then after the issue came out, they said, issue 1 came out, it must have sold out. So they upped their order for issue 4. They upped it again for issue 5. And it's good to see, right? So that's going to do it for this video for issue number 5. As we continue on our trek, again, this was a 17-issue series. We're going to have to keep track of the newsstand versus direct. I have a feeling that the later issues are going to be all direct. At least I think so. I don't know. I didn't really pay attention. I just wanted to get the series and didn't really pay attention to what was newsstand and what was direct. I was just buying and grabbing issues to buy them. So, but thanks for joining. I hope you're enjoying this deep dive into the Terminator. And again, if you don't have it, absolutely seek it out, because I think it's, so far, first 5 issues, it's a solid book. It's a solid book. But again, thank you for joining. And as always, be kind to yourself, and we'll see you in the funny pages.